Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton sits on the Armed Services, Judiciary, and Intelligence Committees. And, sir, listen to some of the past positions that Kamala Harris has held. Watch.
We've got to critically re-examine ICE.
For people out there who like their insurance, they don't get to keep it?
Let's eliminate all of that. Let's move on. That wall ain't going to stop them.
No.
No. I am prepared to get rid of the filibuster to pass a Green New Deal. There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. By 2045, we will have basically zero emission vehicles, only 100%. By 2045.
Is it jarring for you to, having served in the Senate with her, to then now have spokespeople say she doesn't believe any of that?
Yeah, I mean, Dana, why does she need to do an interview with CNN tonight or do an interview ever? That short set of clips tells you exactly who Kamala Harris is. She's a San Francisco liberal. Those are not op-eds from when she was in high school or college debating society. She was a 54-year-old woman running for president. We have the record also of 4 years of failures in the Biden-Harris administration and 4 years in the U.S. Senate. That's exactly what the American people will base their judgment on Kamala Harris is, not election eve conversions, lying and deceiving the American people about what she truly believes. She's a San Francisco liberal. She always has been. She always will be, no matter what she says on CNN or for the next 10 weeks.
Senator Sandra here. So I suppose there's room then in this interview to explain these changing positions, these flip-flops, if you will. Perhaps she can explain them out. Maybe she can't. But that's going to be a big question, right? Because, you know, as Rich Lowry was writing yesterday and said on our show yesterday, that's going to be an opportunity for the Trump campaign to highlight, you know, was she lying when she said these things? Was it her just, you know, lacking concern for the voter? Or was it her not being herself? You know, is this going to be about character?
Well, Sandra, I mean, I guess Dana Bash could give her an opportunity to try to reverse all of her positions. But my understanding is she only has 1 hour with Kamala Harris, not 12 hours. And that's what it would take to reverse all of her far left-wing positions. I think the American people are totally justified in concluding, though, that the Kamala Harris they heard when she ran for president in 2020 and tried to earn the Democratic nomination as opposed to having it gifted to her is the true Kamala Harris. And what she says 10 weeks from Election Day, trying to reverse herself or walk away from past positions, is simply trying to deceive them and hide her true positions. Like, look at what she said about banning hydraulic fracturing, the most efficient way to produce oil and gas to power economic growth in this country. Very flatly, she's going to ban it. Okay, well, if that's not what she believes now, when did she stop believing it? And why did she stop believing it? And why did she have this conversion from this firmly held position she took when she was a 54-year-old woman to where she is now at 59 running for president? Most people don't change their mind so severely over just 5 years when they're grown adults. I think she'd have a tough time explaining that and almost every other potential flip-flop. And it's just proof that they're not really flip-flops. They're lies. We know who Kamala Harris is based on her record.
I know that you, as a Republican senator, would love for the Republicans to take the majority in the Senate. And there are some good polls out today that show tightening races in some of the battleground states for the Senate races. But there are a couple like Nevada and Arizona where you're way behind. What do you think President Trump needs to do in order to stop her from helping the Democratic ticket on the sort of down ballot?
Well, President Trump is doing exactly what he needs to do, which is win his race and turn out as many voters as he can so we can elect people like Sam Brown in Nevada and Kerry Lake in Arizona and Tim Sheehy in Montana, Bernie Moreno in Ohio, states that are not just presidential battlegrounds, but, well, I guess two of them aren't presidential battlegrounds because President Trump is going to win easily in Montana and Ohio. But in other states like Nevada and Arizona, Dave McCormick in Pennsylvania, Mike Rogers in Michigan, Eric Hubby in Wisconsin, these are all presidential battlegrounds and critical Senate races. Now, in some of these places, we have candidates who have not held office before. They're not career politicians like Sherrod Brown in Ohio. So they're still introducing themselves to voters. It's totally normal to see them a little bit behind in the polls. One thing I'd look at is where the Democratic incumbents are. And if you look at Sherrod Brown in Ohio, where I was this week campaigning with Bernie Moreno, a great candidate, or John Tester in Montana, where I will be, they can't get close to 50% because the people in those states know that Sherrod Brown and John Tester vote with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris almost 100% of the time.
Senator Cotton, thanks for being here with us. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you.